Hello, Lindsay. This is some feedback for you on milestone 2. This looks really nice. Lindsay, you've come a long ways, say from week 5. And I see that you have a navigation scheme. Also, I think I went to the most recent version of this, just about file management. Had you given any more thought about how to organize your web server so that you wouldn't have to overwrite files? Anyway, I see that you've got a nice navigation system going. I like the way that the rollover works, and you've used the corporate palette on this. You've begun to flesh out child pages, and your typography is really elegant. I like these cantilevered, centered arrangements of type. I like your type hierarchy too, where you've got this size head and this size text. It's a nice size relationship. Also applying the corporate palette to your typography is nice. Your child pages have distinct images on all of them, and so that's good going. Certainly fleshed out enough, I think, for this class. Only one thing I might add about your home page is that this image is quite large, and the footer gets dropped quite a bit down. Now, when I size up or down, just to show you what happens, here I'm zooming in, the image seems to, well, I mean, you probably wouldn't do that. This is about 100%. And down this is like 65%, just to see, perhaps you could get the image to shrink proportionally somehow, but maybe not. I like that you bled it left and right. Lindsay, I see 2 potent cascading style sheets, one for the type, and you've gotten the typeface to display beautifully here. The other style sheet that I see is for the page itself. And you've got this absolute link. Let me open this up a bit. Your external CSS looks great. It's not a lot of code, but you've maximized the effect that you've gotten. So good job on that. I see in your code, Lindsay, that you've used JPEG file format. Here's a good place to use SVG file format. If you could get your logo to be on a transparent background, you would be able to float either on photographs or on a solid color. Your site is well organized and shows a lot of detail. Lindsay, this was terrific. And a formatted documentation of, well, first your wireframes, you annotated those, and then also of your browser testing too. Speaking of annotating things, in your website, in the code, let me go back to that. I see that you've made meta comments. This is really useful. This is annotation of your technological process, whereas the revised wireframes that you showed here, let's see, go back to that. In this document are annotations of your visual process, equally important for designers. It's a great job. You've pretty much lived up to your wireframe of week 5. And of course, always will require a little bit of tinkering with to get the layout to look just right. It's good that you're considering it in a variety of platforms and browsers. Take a look at it on your phone too. Anyway, I really enjoyed seeing your progress, Lindsay, and look forward to seeing the final.